Welcome. This is our first time doing this. Very, not really nerve-wracking, but a little bit weird.
Yeah. It's going to be new to us as much as it's new to you, the listener.
So, I'm Nick.
And I'm Sean.
This is Sean. We've known each other for over 10 years now. It's been a really long time.
It has.
Actually 15 years.
That would be 2010, right?
2010 is when we met. We met in high school.
Yep, freshman year.
What
was the first class? Was it health?
Health class.
Health was Was it because you were sitting behind me or something like that?
So
yeah.
I sat behind him and we had to draw, we had to turn our backs to each other and draw a picture of whatever was on this piece of paper in front of us, and the person behind us had to try to replicate the picture with what we described. So that's kind of how we started to get to know each other, I guess. We've been friends for over 15 years. That's wild.
Yeah.
Wild to think about.
It is. Well, and especially just how quick the time has gone by, and our friendship has definitely been everlasting compared to some, not in a bad way of saying it, but just like the end of Stand By Me, everybody goes their own ways, because of life, and for better or worse, it's so. Yeah. And I very much value our friendship. I appreciate you visiting wherever I've moved to. I've moved out of state more than one time, and you're the only friend that actually made the journey to visit me at each of those spots. So that's a very special thing. Yeah.
And it's a good chance for me to get out there and visit other different cities, other places, get out of my comfort zone.
I mean, I basically gave any of my friends at the time that same kind of allowance. Hey, just good excuse to get on out here.
Right.
I'll give you the full spread of the place to crash at. You don't need no hotel, and if I can cover some of the costs, and that'd be cool too. But the hardest part is always making that first step to do it. For you, majority of the time was driving. I don't know, did you ever fly out at any point? I can't remember.
I flew out when I saw you in San Diego. I flew out there. That second time I went out to Denver, I flew out there. But driving to Arizona, I'll never fucking do that again.
Was that when you hit the bird?
That was when I hit the bird.
All right.
I hit a bird driving out there.
It was not long into getting into Arizona, or before you got to where I was?
It took 2 days to get out there. It's about an 18-hour drive. I stopped in Albuquerque the first night, slept over, and then woke up at 9 a.m., checked out at 10, and then started the second, essentially, leg. It wasn't a half because I drove a little bit over halfway the first day, but I think I was I want to say right outside of Flagstaff or something like that, and I'm on a highway and we're going underneath these canyons, and me and this Mustang were just messing around, just playing back and forth, and getting a little peppy with it. We came into some traffic underneath this one canyon, and then once the traffic opened up a little bit, I stepped on the gas, and there was a giant bird just posted up on the side of this rock canyon, and once I hit the gas, this bird flew in front of my car as I'm starting to accelerate, and I hit it head on the hood, and it exploded like a fucking watermelon. It absolutely so.
Well, it makes me think of that baseball clip of somebody throwing a pitch.
Yeah, Randy Johnson killed the bird.
Is that who? I mean, it's just feathers, but I mean, obviously, I didn't witness if I saw the aftermath, and I think you had yet to go to a car wash to try to spray it on or off. I mean.
Yeah, it took me because I was still 2 hours outside of Tempe.
Yeah.
So again, I don't know where I was. I might have been a little outside of Flagstaff. I don't know, but I was 2 hours outside of Tempe. I was in Arizona, and I had to drive 2 hours with bird guts and feathers all over the inside of my engine bay. So got to the car wash, washed it off, and then opened up the hood and I had to pick out all the
other
little
remains.
feathers that were still in there. Yeah, it was
God.
it's a great time.
Oh God.
But, just a little bit about me. Like I said, I've known Sean for 15 years. Didn't go to school for anything. I went to high school, obviously, went to college, got my Associate of Arts and Liberal Arts, just a bullshit degree to try to tide me over, and then ended up in the workforce. So I've been at my current job for 10 years. I love it, and I won't say where I work because that's confidential information, but yeah, essentially I wanted to start this because in high school I did video production things, so this is kind of our forte. We got a camera here, camera there. Got lights obviously set up, our whole audio setup, which is a new thing, but
Trying to be as professional as we can.
trying to be
Within
what we
the
have.
means of what we got, yeah.
We're not, well off by any means.
Nope.
But
Far from it.
yeah,
But we're working with what we got. So.
Exactly,
And
so-
we'll make do.
we wanted to start this thing because it's something to spark our creative outlet and give back to the community that we grew up in, or the people that we grew up with, or whoever the fuck wants to watch it. I don't know who's gonna watch this.
Yeah, I mean, you and me both have
Yeah.
no idea who's going to be the audience
And,
when it comes out of this,
like-
if how big it even gets.
Again, I mean, we're not in it for fortune. We're not in it for fame. Like, we're just in it to sit down and talk like we always do, a designated time of every week, and then we'll go in here, edit our discussion, and release it to the public. So it's essentially the entire reason we're doing it, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
we have no really goal, no plan for it, really.
We're making it up as we go. I'd say.
Exactly. Yeah, pretty much. But
Yeah.
yeah,
And
tell
then-
them a little bit about Sean.
Well, now I'll try not to just word vomit or ramble. I tend to do that a lot, and that's something that I think we're both going to encounter here in our own ways, and that's how hopefully those that are finding some kind of entertainment out of this, they can enjoy seeing some of that progression into better production value or just a little bit more of a lined out script. But yeah, my name's Sean, and Nick and I, like we said, met back in freshman year and graduated together in 2014. We did end up working at the same place. He has been the only one that stuck around longer. I kind of, in some ways, am envious of that, but at other times I'm thankful that I did not stick around for other opportunities. But again, our friendship has been everlasting, and even though there are a lot of things that we differ on, maybe like the interests and hobbies, but we also have enough common ground that we think that we could get together and have this podcast, and we don't have a set something we're going to talk about or anything. We'll just make it up as we go. But if it was up to me, I would probably talk a lot about skateboarding, a lot about automobiles, and a lot about Power Rangers or toys, colored plastic in general.
Yeah.
But we don't know where our conversations are going to lead us. But yeah, like I said, different backgrounds, because I know Nick, as much as I wanted him to also get into being the same with cars, you are not into cars in the same way that I am. So
Not anymore.
so we
I was at
we
first,
can't
but
sit
not
there and have a full podcast on cars, but
we could discuss like
we
10
could try. But I don't know. Again, I have a bad tendency of rambling and just word vomiting and not having a cohesive sentence. So that's probably what's going on here. Not giving a good amount of context as to who I am. But
I mean, you give them enough.
good
All I need
good
to know.
enough. Yeah.
We'll get to know you as time goes on.
But yeah, I don't know. Skateboarding and cars, that's what defines me.
We're all autistic in some way.
I
got
definitely have
special interest,
I'm a little acoustic up there for sure.
You got a hidden autism.
Something. I was dropped by my babysitter at a very young age. This is a true story.
I actually, when I was really little, and I think this is why my brain's as fucked up as it is, but I was on a rocking horse when I was like 2 years old, and I was in front of the fireplace.
Oh shit!
And
You hit the heart.
My parents blame my sister, but it's not my sister's fault. Like, it's not my sister's fault.
Was she even in the room?
Yes, she was supposed to be watching me. She's supposed to be watching me. And I'm rocking back and forth on this rocking horse. And I rocked back too far, flew out from under me. I was in front of the fireplace, and I actually have, I think I got like 10 stitches in my head. So I have a scar on the back, on like the entirety of my head.
So you'll look pretty wicked if you went bald.
If I went Walter White, I'd look crazy. People probably would not talk to me. But yeah, I think I'm a little fucked up in the head because of that.
Well, I mean, I think that our social skills beyond just you and I, just in general, all around, because of the way that technology has crept its way into our everyday life, it has sheltered us to where we may not have those social interactions that we did in the past. In the past, you actually had to make the phone call. You had to meet the person face to face. Now there's, you don't need a call to order a pizza, and you don't even need to meet the pizza delivery guy. Right. You just leave it at the door, and you've already been paid. And it can be a good thing, but I think it could also be harmful. And I think as well, going through the pandemic, which I don't know if that's a topic that we're allowed to talk about, but that definitely heightened a lot of sensitivity that some people had. Yeah. I know some individuals that even to this day, which I understand now as I get older, like not wanting to be in a crowded space, depending on what kind of environment it is or what it is, like going to a game or if it's going to a concert, but it's like
going to the fucking
I know some
store.
people, they'll watch something on TV and just be like, oh, I can't even imagine being there right now with that many people. Like, imagine how much spread is going on. And it's like, well, there's always been that, and I'm not saying YOLO and just don't heed precaution, but there is a level of like, well, you don't want it to hinder your day-to-day or hold you back. But for those that already had, I don't know what the fear is of going outside, where they're sheltered, like hoarders essentially, or people that just board up into their home.
Like the dude from Benchwarmers, where
where he's allergic to the sun. Yes, yeah, that type of person. Come COVID, I can only imagine they're still like 10 times worse now.
Maybe I don't know, because I feel like for the most part everything concurrently has gone back to essentially the way it was before COVID, minus I guess like Walmart used to be open 24 hours, and that was, oh my god,
it was very good to shop at past midnight. Oh hell yeah, I was one of those too.
But now everything closes at 11. And that's fine. I don't have any problem with it. But
yeah,
I like the pandemic, dude. I think it weaponized so much of the social media aspect of like how we use it in our everyday life. So like my parents were not big on Facebook or whatever, but once COVID hit, man, everybody, that's the only way they could interact with the world is social media. You're locked in your house for God knows how long it was. I don't even remember, because we were working at the time. Like we were essential workers. Yeah,
we were
during
essential
the
workers.
Pandemic, so.
Hey, the commutes were very pleasant back then.
Oh yeah,
having the open road like that. Yeah.
I'm doing 90 in a 55 all the way to work.
And even when going through that, I didn't quite grasp just exactly what was going on to a degree. To the extent of like the severity of like, oh shit, like things are shutting down. And I had traveled to Colorado. Just it was already planned out, but it just so happened to be that within that first 2 weeks of like
quarantine now.
Well, and within that first 2 weeks of the lockdown, and like everybody was boarded up, and it felt eerie being in Boulder, Colorado, in areas that I know are very populated, very much populated, and to see nobody on the road, nobody around, nobody on this, it was dystopian. It was
I can
different.
See that for sure.
It was very different, but yeah, we were essential workers, so we actually got more work. We were. Yeah. I mean, back then, to put in context, I was putting in 13-hour days. I mean, it happened more than once. I actually got.
Yeah, we were putting in. We were working the 12s 5 days a week.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Little break in between, not even. I mean, there were many days that we had 20-minute breaks. Yeah. Well, is that enough to recover? I don't know.
The 2 days off, I guess. You're just recovering from work the last week.
Well, and unfortunately, I maybe was a little too open to saying Sure, to my bosses back then.
Oh yeah.
So they'd always have me work an extra day. But my paychecks looked good then.
Dude,
like,
oh my god.
oh, and then I made the decision to leave that.
$1,800 a week.
Yeah. This is the same job that he's had for 10 years. And I actually started there before you did, which
Yep, Sean was the one that got me on.
Was I there? When did you said 2015?
2015 is when I started.
Okay. See, and I was 2014.
Yeah.
I was September 4th.
I was January of 2015.
Yeah. I sometimes think about, well, what if I had stayed there? Like, could I have applied myself more?
That's honestly why I haven't left yet.
Yeah, well, and that's where I in part envy that you haven't left, because I'm like, oh, the potential that you have to, move up into a higher role. But I also understand, like, that's not necessarily where you maybe want to be. Like, that's, I think, what I battled all the time with working in an environment like that, because unlike Nick, I did not go to college. I took like a class for a week and then I dropped out. But it was like bullshit entrepreneurship. And I also had aspirations at one time to have a clothing brand, a skateboard company, and
still don't.
Well,
dude.
I think
it was so like his designs, like I'd shit you not, they were the fucking coolest shit I've ever seen.
I appreciate that.
Some of the shirts were like, dude, like I wish like I grew out. Like I'm a big boy now. Like I'm not skinny like I used to be, but I grew out of a lot of the shirts that.
Well,
they would just get weathered and fade over time, but that happens with time with every shirt.
Sure, with every shirt. Well, and I was also producing them in a way that was a very low cost, basic way, and also learning, because there's ways of going about the production that each time I would do it, I would try to like learn from like, oh, this was a mistake. Okay, how do I correct that? Like, one of the difficulties was like, let's say a yellow transfer onto a black onto a white shirt. I think it was a lighter color. So because it was so light, it wouldn't pick up the yellow very well. And so like, how do I figure that out? But I wasn't screen printing. I was just screen pressing, heat press. And but anyway, so I was trying that and making skateboards, or at least like the designs, and appreciate you complimenting the designs there.
Honest to God, that's how I always felt.
When it's like it's one of those things that like I feel like there's been times I've held my own creativity back. Like it can even be before that. It could be into the YouTube stuff, because out there is a YouTube channel. I actually have more than one, but there's a few that are quite cringy, if not all. At least the ones I'm speaking in, because that's when you can hear that my balls had yet to drop. But it's kind of a fun time capsule at the same time. And so I'm like, I'm not so embarrassed by it, but I'm not necessarily going to advertise it. But then I do have some videos that started to make some traction and actually do have a big view count. I don't know like what it means in the YouTube world right now exactly, like what that like relates to when it comes to like trending and things like that, or if you could even be monetized. But I stopped doing YouTube because I started to get in my head of like the critical of how to implement it, and like, because just like this production, I want it to be a good quality production. I get that we may not know what we're doing, and we may not have the funds to get what we want right away for the production, but we are recycling some of what we already have. We got the lights that we have left over from that skateboard company, and then we have our 3 cell phones going on.
Straight up, like, and that's his phone, that's my phone, and that's an extra phone right there. Like, that's our setup right now.
We're gonna work
2
with
Amazon tripods and one that I don't know where that came from.
All Samsungs, right?
I think so.
Hey,
I think all our phones are Samsung.
Then it was all meant to be. I mean, and that's a different thing, but I mean, you're not iPhone, and neither am I. That's a rarity, I think. Even though we're here with a MacBook right there, I guess. But that's okay.
I mean, like, I just use MacBook because that's what I use. That's what we used in high school. Like when I did video production in high school, everything was Final Cut Pro 7. I'm gonna have to lean a little bit off of that because this MacBook's this is a Mac Mini and it's a little bit older. So, I have, what's the program called? They actually use it. God damn it.
GarageBand?
Not GarageBand. We're using GarageBand to record the audio, but the video editing software that I downloaded today, actually, of course, and it works like right.
The videos that I have all the views on, I just use Windows Movie Maker.
I believe it. I
And
believe it.
so those videos are also, well, there's a different variety. There's some that are stop motion, and then there's others that were filmed on a flip camcorder. And that was the other crazy thing. We talked about a time capsule as well. Like, here we are recording with 3 phones that each individually produce a way better picture quality than a flip camcorder
Dude, these
could ever
these
do.
phones themselves produce probably better quality than the cameras that I had in high school to use for
Easily.
video production.
Yeah, sure. I believe it. Yeah. Yeah.
But the editing software that I have is called DaVinci Resolve. I had to download an older version of it.
Sounds sophisticated.
It's gonna. They actually used it to color grade Alien Romulus.
Did they really?
They did.
So is this a free to use
It
software?
is. It's a free to use software unless you get the
I vibe with that.
Pro. Unless you get the Pro suite or whatever, then it's free to use. So I won't be able to put like weird, goofy like
Effects?
dissolve effects. But
Shit.
we don't need that right now.
Well,
honestly.
I hope we grow to be able to afford that.
We'll get there at some point.
Maybe if we had a Patreon.
Yeah. I mean, that's the scalable part of a podcast, man. Like, we can do that at some point.
Yeah. Well, and again, we'll hope that you guys are along for the ride with this and you enjoy seeing what I was saying, the growth of it. You're going to see an evolution between the two of us. I mean, I'm sure we're also going to grow as people and individuals in good ways. And
In good ways, hopefully.
good ways, yeah, not apart. But like how you pitched the idea of this podcast, I really got me thinking. Was you're like it's just a good excuse for 2 good friends to get together and have a conversation. And
absolutely,
as you put it, it's like you and I don't necessarily have a difficulty having conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, this may be episode 0, episode 1, but this is not the first time we've sat down and had.
This is like the third time we've done this.
Yeah, and we definitely have sat there and just rambled, but it doesn't mean that we're having the best entertainment of a conversation, but we at least can hold the conversation.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see, and I'm also interested to see what we start wanting to bring to the table. And and you were saying like how you have the background with video production, and with myself, I would like to get back into that creative mind space because I feel like with the brand, with the YouTube, with the things, I kind of like put a lot of stuff on hold. Like I just and I think, to be honest, it's all stems from, and it's not to point fingers, but it's to point fingers at the same time, going and working where he currently is now.
It's definitely,
I got there,
time-consuming.
I started part-time.
Yeah.
I kind of was like, oh, this is just to, get me by. And then eventually it crept up like, well, I would like to, get more money. Okay, let me work double the hours, so full time. And then opportunities open the door, to me, or present themselves to me. And I am not one to shy away from it, even though I do look back and feel like, well, should I have taken every opportunity that was presented? Like maybe I should have held back a little bit longer before taking those leaps. But I did find myself in a higher role within a year and a half of being there, which felt very much like the movie Big. Like you're just a child and all of a sudden you're thrusted into the adulthood and you're like, oh shit, my shoes don't even fit me right, you know what I mean? Right. But yet here you are, and it's like I definitely felt a little uncomfortable. I think I can handle it better now as I've grown older and also been through that environment more, because I also as much as I've left that company, I've also come back and achieved the same thing, if not more. But I've always also taken myself away because I feel like that type of environment, which can also be repeated in many other industries, it's like you get so locked into that world that like you kind of forget who you are. You kind of forget what you're interested in because you're just like always about the company or always about the procedure of what the day-to-day runs on, and
the operation.
I mean, because you live there more than you stay at home.
Yep.
And it's like, I get that. That's a job. You clock in, clock out, whatever, and you devote your time, and at least like you're applying yourself. But I don't like that I put on hold some of my creative ambitions for
that's
some of
again
that,
that's I think I might have touched on. I don't even remember if I touched on it then or not. But it like what I always wanted to do when I was a kid, since I was a little kid, I always wanted to make movies. Like, and this is perfect opportunity for me to get back into a production setting and start doing something creatively in that way. Like, I always wanted to be a movie director, film director, whatever you want to call it, if you're a snob or not. But this is like a great way to just set up, see how things look on a camera. This is all stationary setup, obviously, but like I would like to use this at some point to step into maybe something bigger and taking on a bigger production. If it's self-funded or not, I don't know.
Like short film,
even short films, and then
web
using short
series.
films to step into like full feature-length films. But
Like what kind of, like, I know what genres you like, but like what are you exactly, what would you want to step into? Would it be like horror, like, or would it be like thrillers? Would it be like, you know, because again, I know you like all of the things.
a little bit of everything, honestly. Like,
But I also know like people who are stepping into the industry, like looking at like the history of it. They step in the horror.
Yeah, horror is
because
definitely
that can be an easier thing to step into.
Segue into.
What
a
I
bigger
wish
career,
is, this is going to be a little bit of a trail off, but I always feel like I have ideas, you know, for many different things, but like one of them will be like, oh, a movie, like, and it will come to me in a dream, you know, and it's like, oh, that would be a fucking terrifying movie, or that I know that will be successful.
It's like the
or
worst
something.
dream you ever had. Like, I'm gonna make that a movie.
Exactly, but then it's like, how do I translate that from my head to the pen and paper and then to the reality of the screen? Like, it's difficult to translate that, and I wish that there was a way to like just beam that right on out.
Yeah, I feel like that's where I've excelled in the time that I've not been doing video stuff, is like the writing aspect of it, because most people in Hollywood right now are writer directors. They do both. They produce, they write, they direct, they do everything, you know. So writing, I think, is the biggest struggle for Hollywood right now. There's so many movies that come out that are just conceptually like a great idea, but because of the writing or the plot structure, however bad it is, or whatever bad decisions get made in the writing, like on the script, in the writing room, whatever, like I think that's the biggest issue in Hollywood is writing. So I don't think you're the only person with that issue, because I think there's a lot of people that are actually doing it that have the same issue.
Yeah. Well, I know I've seen different videos talking about that exact issue, and some of it is because we have so much stuff out there now. Like before, when you had basic cable, it's like the amount of releases were more limited, but now you have so many things, Netflix, Hulu, and Disney, and they have their own in-house productions that are working on things, and so you have so much media now that's being consumed, and it's also expected to be pumped out like right away. I find it insane to think that they're currently filming Spider-Man, and is it right that it's next summer they're going to release it?
I don't know. I think so.
I think that's it.
You just have to kind of think of the process of the production, right? You have pre-production where you write the script is like pre-production. So you write the script gets greenlit. Most of the time, that's how it works. You write the script gets greenlit, then you pre-produce, you get everything in place, shooting schedules, who your actors are, et cetera, and then you shoot the movie. And that takes however many days. Could be a week, could be a couple of years.
2026.
Yeah, and I believe it. And then post-production is typically the longest part of production, where you edit everything down.
But there's other movies that take way longer. So like the fact that and some of those movies do go into production.
They've got it down to a science now. Like especially with the Marvel movies, they've got that. They've got it down to like the finite details.
Do you think it's because of Marvel, or is it also Sony that's pumping? Because I mean, it's Sony
because they're contractually obligated to release a Spider-Man related property every 2 years. Like that's to keep the rights to Spider-Man.
It's released some trash.
I mean, they've been good recently. So
Who
most
watched
of it,
the new Venom movie?
It was okay. It was.
Did you watch Madam Web?
No.
Yeah. Did you watch Craven?
I will not. I didn't. It was so.
Did you watch Morbius?
I didn't. It was trash.
But I didn't watch that's fucking three of those.
4 movies out of. So all the new Spider-Man movies have been good. They have been. All the Tom Holland ones have been produced by Marvel Studios, but Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse, fucking fantastic.
Yeah, no, they've definitely set a new bar.
I think their goal was that they originally wanted to release Beyond the Spider-Verse in a shorter time frame than it's taking them. And
Yeah.
I think that's probably why they're
Yeah, but I also understand
rushing a
in
new
that
Spider-Man movie.
case, the animation is what can take a
Yeah.
real long time.
Because the first movie came out in 2018, second movie came out in 2023, so that took a 5-year window between the two releases.
Well, and
that's
I'll admit, the first time I
significant.
watched that second one, it's not that I didn't like it, but I didn't hold it as high as I did the first one. But after watching more than once again, it's pretty damn good. And
Oh, yeah.
the way that it
I like
sets
it
up
more,
some, like the
honestly.
third act and everything,
Yep.
it's like it gets so epic, you
Yep.
know, and the
And I had,
score and
dude,
all the
I had
things. Like,
all the young kids that I work with, like, they all loved it, but like, why the fuck did it have to end like that? Well,
it's like The Matrix Reloaded.
tell me you have not seen the Lord of the Rings trilogy
Right.
without telling me you haven't seen the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Because when those movies first came out, like I was like 5, 6, and 7
Yeah.
for the original releases. Saw them all in theaters with my dad.
I think I only ever
We
saw
didn't
one
know,
DVD.
like when those movies were coming out, we didn't know we were engaged in that big of a like cultural
Story.
phenomenon
Oh, yeah.
because it still is today.
Oh, yeah.
To this
Yeah.
day, like regarded as like I still regard it as my favorite trilogy. Period. Like even though like obviously I'm drinking the Star Wars branded Coke Zero, I love Star Wars. I'll get down with Star Wars all day, but Lord of the Rings is by far shot per shot and just thematically the best story ever put to screen. The books, like, and this is a hot take, I think the movies are better than the books. I'm almost done.
I think
with
I maybe have read one book.
I'm almost done with the second book. And
But how many books do they have? They got a lot, right? Like, because there's a big lore, just like all the other
I mean,
IPs.
yeah, like Tolkien has an expansive, like, library of books that he wrote, but I've read Silmarillion, The Hobbit. I've read Fellowship. I'm halfway through Two Towers. Almost done with it. Pretty much everything in the Two Towers movie that happens, I've read already in the book. But they have a lot of stuff from Return of the King in there as well.
Do you remember the cartoon, The Hobbit?
I do.
Or is it The Hobbit? Yeah.
I do remember the cartoon The Hobbit, but it wasn't the one like the Lord of the Rings cartoon. I remember watching that as a kid. That was after the first couple movies in the live action trilogy had come out, and I remember watching it and like, this kind of sucks. Like it's good, but it kind of sucks. Like I like it because it's Lord of the Rings, but this isn't my Lord of the Rings. You know?
Right. Well, there's some funny clips from it.
And that's like, obviously we haven't talked on this yet. Because, we have though, because one of our test runs we talked about how creators taking care of the IP, like the original IP, how you have to be a fan of the property
Yes.
to give the property correct service. And I
Yes.
think Peter Jackson, even though I think there might be some people that don't necessarily like
Peter Jackson.
the vision that he brought to the table for Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit, but
I think it's more of The Hobbit. And then
I don't like the Hobbit movies. I don't
don't?
care for them. No.
they're not as highly regarded in my book as the Lord of the Rings trilogy,
Yeah.
but I am fine with it. I'm not
Like
not.
I'll when I binge the movies, like
Right.
I'll watch the Hobbit movies, but like it just feels weird that Lord of the Rings came out first and it was so like perfectly done,
Yeah.
and then the Hobbit comes out and it just felt like a cash grab in my opinion. Like
When I
and
feel
he made it too long. There's
Yeah.
too much shit in it that like
it didn't need to be a trilogy.
came from like he pulls some of the stuff from the end of the Silmarillion. Most of it is in the Hobbit. Like the main story is in the Hobbit. The Azog the Defiler storyline, I don't know where the fuck that came from, but that was arguably, in my opinion, one of the best arcs in the Hobbit trilogy. But I don't know. There's just a lot that he did with that book and that story that just I didn't necessarily like that well, or as much as Lord of the Rings, obviously. But that's what happens when you get too comfortable, you know.
Sure.
Like, hey, I've done this before. Let's make 3 movies for The Hobbit. We can make them the same way, and
Yeah, and they'll still come.
yeah, and we
They'll
did.
Still, yeah.
And
Yeah.
we did, because I
Still-
saw all
it
those
still
movies
was a
in the
profit,
theaters, too.
yeah.
I saw all those movies twice. Every single one I saw twice.
You're the reason they kept the lights on.
Yep.